Hey there everybody! So the last time you guys saw me make one of these videos, it was for bad news. It was for when my apartment was broken into and all my things were stolen, and I was very sad and mopey, and yeah, wasn't too fun of a video or a situation. Well, unfortunately, the trend is going to be continuing today because once again, I come bearing some bad personal news for me. So as I've talked about in the past on this channel, usually in this forum, I worked for a minor league baseball team, and you'll notice that I used the word worked because unfortunately a week ago I was let go from that position. The reason why I was let go, don't need to get into all the details here, but let's just say there was new management at the top. The new management at the top didn't like me very much, and that was one of their first moves. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know when this happened, and I had a whole long spiel about that. You'll also know, if you follow me on Twitter, that I was unhappy there for a little while now, ever since new management had come in and new ownership had come in. I had my fair share of issues there with how they were running things. So it's sad. Obviously, I was sad and disheartened to be let go. It's never a fun thing to happen to anybody. But a week later now, and it's partially why I waited to make this video, I'm not as sad anymore. It's still, stressful and, not having a job and things like that. But, life goes on, I guess. We'll just have to roll with the punches, and like my parents taught me, when a door closes, the window's open, or something like that. So, yeah, we'll roll with the punches, see what happens. But there is, I guess, in a way, a silver lining to this story. Well, because I have so much more free time on my hands these days, it is giving me an opportunity to really refocus on this channel. Obviously, over the last year, really, it has been hard for me to focus on this channel. And the reason for that has been a couple things. One, just very busy with work. And two, I was having so many problems with work and being stressed and everything else that when I would come back, the last thing I wanted to do was make videos. And unfortunately, this channel in particular really operates at its best and really operates at its most efficient when I'm in a good mood. It's hard to kind of force yourself to watch Disney movies. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose. So now that I'm kind of around a lot more, I'm going to be able to refocus on this channel a lot more. So in order to help build up the channel more and to help get more connected with you guys, one of the things that I really want to try to build up and really focus on is my Patreon page. So there's two big reasons why I really want to start to integrate Patreon more into things. The first one is obvious, gotta pay the bills, keep the lights on, all that good stuff, but also get better equipment, get some legal help with certain things to try to keep copyright strikes down and those sorts of things that will keep the channel running, that will get the channel to a higher quality and will improve the product in general, which obviously helps everybody involved here. It helps the channel, you guys get better content out of it, everybody's happy. The other thing is I want to integrate more with you guys, and I want to kind of hear your opinions more and talk to you guys more and let you guys know a little bit more about me. And I feel like Patreon is the best way to do that without totally stretching myself too thin. So here's a couple of the ideas that I had in mind. So the way the Patreon page is set up right now, it's a per video setup. Now I want to specify something, because this is very important. Videos like this, this Disney news style video, will not count towards that video donation number. The reason why is I can pretty much bang these sorts of videos out from the time I hit record on here to the time it gets uploaded to YouTube, somewhere in the range of an hour. And as opposed to my other videos where the Disney Guy reviews, the influential people, and all those sorts of videos that take me, a week at the earliest. Usually it's a couple weeks that they take me. So it didn't feel right for me to charge people the same amount for these silly little videos where I'm just sitting in front of a camera talking to you guys as the bigger videos with all of the research and the information and the editing and all that stuff. So to get around that, I just decided that these are going to be exempt from all those things. So long story short, basically the way the Patreon will work is it's per video, per big video, which comes out to realistically about 2 videos a month. There's also different levels of patron donations on Patreon. If those of you have never been there before, you have your $1 donations, and basically what $1 will do is it's going to give you guys, kind of the start of the VIP access to this channel. I want to do some things on there like poll you guys for what topic I should do for an upcoming video. I want to keep you guys in the know for what videos I currently have scheduled coming up, because I do usually schedule my videos months in advance, and I try to have a bit of a breakdown, so you guys will get access to those sorts of things. And also something that I'm going to be starting with the next big video that I'm making is any of my patrons, and that's from $1 and up, will get access to my main videos 24 hours before the public does on YouTube. So that's one of the big things that I want to do as a kind of a thank you to you guys, and a thank you to my biggest supporters out there. You guys get access to my videos 24 hours earlier before everybody else. There are other levels, of course. There's a $5 level, and that basically starts to entitle you to like all of the little extra videos that I'm thinking about doing. A segment that I want to start doing when I start to get more patrons and more people is to start gathering questions from you guys and answering maybe 3 to 5 questions every month, just to kind of like an FAQ, kind of see more of my personality, not just Disney related questions, but anything really. I'm pretty open of a person. I want to kind of show you behind the scenes stuff. It's not all that exciting, but I know people do ask about that, so maybe behind the scenes video. And I've talked about this in the past, but I do watch more than just Disney stuff, so between either polling you guys if you guys recommend a movie for me to watch, or if I just happen to go see a movie on my own, I would like to kind of review those in this sort of style, and those will be exclusive to the people who donate $5 at the $5 level and up on Patreon. And of course, there's other levels and other perks, but that was just like the real quick breakdown and the real quick changes that I've made to it. And all that's going to really start happening with this next video that I'm rolling out. So that's just one of the ways that I'm really trying to refocus and rededicate myself to this channel, to give you guys more content more consistently, because I think you guys deserve it. You guys deserve it for sticking with me with all this craziness over the past year. Oh man, this past 6 months of 2017 have been a doozy for me. A lot has happened, but you guys have stuck with me, and I think it's only fair that now that I have the time and the ability to, I really start giving back to you guys. Incidentally, the link to my Patreon page will be in the description below. So you guys click that, it'll send you right to my page, and you can see all the information that I just went over here, there, in nice, clean, organized, written form. Alright, so let's see. We did the depressing life story news. We did the shilling of a Patreon page. So how about we actually do a little bit of Disney news this time around? So the biggest news in the Disney world actually comes from a galaxy far, far away. The directors of the Han Solo spin-off movie, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, were actually let go from the production just a couple days ago. The reasonings that I saw, a lot of it is kind of shrouded in mystery, but I saw something about how there was too much kind of improv going on. Now, I don't know whether that means they were kind of making things up on the fly in terms of the direction that they were going, or in terms of the scenes or whatever, or if they were just allowing too much improv within the script and from the actors themselves. That I wasn't 100% clear on, but what I was clear on is that those two guys are out, which is definitely big news, and especially for such a big production like that, and for such a big IP like Star Wars, it's a big deal when all of a sudden your two directors are gone. So the good news for Disney, however, though, is that they did manage to find a director very quickly. I believe it was just today, actually, Ron Howard was named as the new director for the Han Solo spin-off movie, and he is a fantastic director. If you don't know him, he's done a lot of great work, so I don't doubt that he will do great with this. Now, where things get a little bit dicey, of course, is that you had been working with these two directors for some time, and filming had started some time ago. So now what? Now that you have a new director, is that going to delay when this movie comes out? I believe it's supposed to come out at the end of 2018, which is still plenty of time, but when you think about a Star Wars movie, you need a lot of post-production time. So it kind of leaves that sort of stuff in limbo. I'm not super well versed on what happens when you get a new director. Are you just keeping what you got and trying to fix what you didn't like? Are you completely blowing it up and starting all over again? I can't imagine they're going to go that route, because that would absolutely lead to a delay. But yeah, as of this moment, I've not heard that the film is going to be the film's release date is going to be delayed at all. But I think that that's definitely a possibility. So keep an eye on that. It is, it's a crazy story, but that's the business sometimes. Sometimes creatively things aren't working out, and as cliche as it is, sometimes there's creative differences that lead to changes like that. The only other bit of Disney news that I saw this week that was interesting to me was Disney, surprise, surprise, is actually being sued. What are they being sued for this time? They're being sued actually by a child psychologist who claims that Inside Out was actually their idea in the first place. According to this woman, Denise Daniels, she had pitched this idea to Disney Pixar some time ago, called The Moodsters, I believe it was, which, according to her side of the story, does sound extremely similar to Inside Out. This is not the first time this sort of thing has happened to Disney. Even recently, somebody just sued them for Zootopia, claiming very similar things. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this sort of thing. I'm sure my gut instinct is that this sort of thing is going to get resolved with some out-of-court settlement sort of deal. It's not like Disney doesn't have the money. But it is always interesting to kind of look at, and that's why I guess you always copyright protect your things if you can avoid it. Always trademark your things if you can avoid it. If this person did have this idea or this script, there are some protective measures you can have. That way, in case somebody kind of takes your idea without compensating you or crediting you, you have a way to prove it. Maybe they did, and we'll find that out. But it is still interesting to look at. It's interesting kind of seeing where, when you are talking about Inside Out and this wildly innovative idea, other people have had it before. And I'm sure that's going to be the other argument that you make, is that this idea is not super off the wall. People have thought about your emotions as people in the past, and it's possible that Disney will be able to get away with that. Disney Pixar is currently vehemently denying these claims. So we'll see. I just thought it was a bit of interesting news to kind of share with you guys. All right, well, I think I've done enough rambling for one day, so I'm going to be getting out of here. Just so you guys know, my next video I'm planning tentatively for it to come out sometime next week. The script is written, hoping to film either later tonight or tomorrow, and then once it's filmed, well, then the editing process begins, and hopefully there's no crazy issues, but there shouldn't be. So tentatively, and it's not like I don't have time on my hands these days, but tentatively, next week, new video, and yeah, once again, Patreon's down below, Twitter is going to be down below. You can always follow that for updates with what is going on with my crazy manic life. And yeah, I will see you guys real soon.